Welcome back again. My name is Mr. Frey. I'm your teacher, biology teacher of this year's school. The last sessions we saw how to write an effective title for a publication or paper, and we studied also how to write a good introduction. We saw also how to write good material methods. Right now, we are going to study how to write a good results, a result presentation. As we usually do, we are going to work in small groups. We like this communicative approach, and I prepare for you a PowerPoint presentation to see more details about how what looking for results. See you later.
What to look for when checking data and results? Results of study should be uh, clearly stated in the results section, and where appropriate should be supported by tables and figures. The results are not yet be interpreted. That is what the discussion section is for. Is data analysis still necessary? Unfortunately, the number of manuscripts without proper statistics is increasing. However, not all types of research papers require data analysis. So, any generalized result from sample must be supported by data. Many papers, especially laboratory experiments, do not contain note information for statistical review. Sorry. Data validity check. The editors may consider obtaining a separate statistical review of the article, or ensuring that the other reviewer is competent with the analysis presented. To ensure valid data, you should look for some common conventions when reviewing the section of results. Categories should be grouped appropriately. Probability levels must be clearly identified. Appropriate units and propose rounding. Often the probability level imply a p-value less than 0.05 and confidence interval that does not include the zero value. Each analysis has its own level or significance to consider. Just I give access. Tables and figures. One of the key skills in communicating information is presenting table and figures such as a graph. Figures and tables can enhance, simplify, or clarify the result of study. However, the reverse can also be true, and HUD structure can create confusion. The purpose of each table and figure should be clear. Tables and figure are not a suitable place to collect random information together. They should have a specific purpose of and focus. You should check that all tables and figures are referenced in the text of the result section. Tables and figures have clear descriptive titles. The column and rows of the table are clearly labeled. Tables and figures are understandable and standalone graphics. Each table or figure in an article should be mentioned somewhere in the text of the results section and referred to by each figure or table number. The text should highlight the key element of the table or figure to justify its importance, but should not repeat the content. Tables and figures should function as standalone graphics and should not depend on people reading the text to understand their meaning. Tables and figures should also have clear descriptive headings, column, and rows that correctly correspond to their content. If there are abbreviations, they should really be spelled out in full the first time they are used, and any footnotes should be easy to understand. If the table or figure is not clear or difficult to interpret on its own, when to use a table and when a number is better. Tables are useful for displaying data with precise numeric values, especially when there is a large data set. Tables also allow you to compare and contrast numeric values between groups. Tables should be at least two rows and columns. Anything smaller would be presented or write in text. Figures, tables, and graphs are great for highlighting the trends, patterns, and the relationship between different aspects of the data set. In other words, a number is useful when data trends are more important to communicate than the numerical values themselves. The results section should simplify, state the result. If the authors begin to interpret their result in this section, you should recommend that they move them to the discussion and the conclusion sections.